Hey, I'm Kelly. If you love cars as much as I do, you're in the right place. From drifting car days to uncovering the world's most iconic rides. Gear up and subscribe to Drive with Kelly for non-stop car fun. You know what a lot of those brand new $80,000 pickup trucks are doing right now? Sitting in service bays collecting dust. Waiting on a software update because the touchscreen stopped communicating with the transmission. Or the cylinder deactivation system threw a code at 43,000 miles. Or the adaptive cruise radar picked up a little dust and now the truck genuinely believes there is a wall directly in front of it on a wide open highway. $80,000 in a shop because of a sensor. That is where we are. Here is what becomes clear after watching this industry closely for years. Reliability does not come from complexity. It never did. The most unbreakable trucks ever built in America were not the most advanced. They were the most honest. Simple engines, solid frames, mechanical systems that a person with a floor jack and a parts store 30 miles away could fix on a Saturday afternoon and keep fixing for the next 30 years. Today we are going back to find those trucks. 5 pickups you buy once and drive forever, counting down from number 5 to number 1. And by the time we get there, you will never look at a new truck sticker the same way again. Number 5. Chevrolet Silverado and GMC Sierra 1500, GMT400, 1999 to 2006. We start at number 5 with what genuinely represents the golden age of General Motors truck engineering. The GMT400 platform, the Chevrolet Silverado and GMC Sierra 1500 produced from 1999 through 2006, equipped with the 5.3-liter Vortec V8. If you know your GM history, you know this engine went on to live a long and complicated life. Later versions of the 5.3 got saddled with active fuel management GM's cylinder deactivation system, and that technology became one of the most reliable ways to destroy a perfectly good engine. Collapsed lifters, chronic oil consumption, camshaft lobe wear that showed up right around the time the warranty expired. The problem became so widespread that an entire industry of AFM delete kits was built specifically around undoing what GM thought was progress. But the GMT400 era 5.3 had none of that. This was the engine before the accountants and the fuel economy mandates turned it into something fragile. The Vortec 5.3 in these trucks is pushrod, 2-valve, iron block simplicity. It loves regular maintenance and absolutely nothing else. Put clean oil in it on schedule, keep the cooling system healthy, and this engine runs well past 200,000 miles without complaint. The transmission behind it, the 4L60E, is one of the most well-documented, most widely rebuilt automatic transmissions in American automotive history. Parts for these trucks sit on shelves at every AutoZone, every O'Reilly, every Advance Auto across the country. This is the last generation of GM full-size trucks where the average owner could genuinely fix their own vehicle without a subscription to factory diagnostic software. The GMT400 Silverado and Sierra represent the end of an honest era at General Motors, and for that reason alone, they earn their place on this list. Number 4, Ford Ranger, 1998 to 2011. From the full-size world, we step down in size, but not in dependability for number 4. The Ford Ranger, 1998 through 2011, 13 years of production. And honestly, they could have kept building it for another 13, and nobody would have complained. The Ranger of this era is one of the most beautifully boring vehicles ever sold in America, and that is the highest possible compliment. Whether it came with the 2.3-liter 4-cylinder or the 4.0-liter SOHC V6, this truck was engineered around a philosophy that has become almost radical by modern standards. Do not add anything that does not need to be there. No active suspension, no variable valve timing, no complex all-wheel drive transfer case with 17 terrain modes. It is a truck. It has an engine, a gearbox, 4 wheels, and a bed. You want to understand how tough these things actually are? Talk to anyone who has owned a farm Ranger. These trucks get parked behind a barn in October, sit through an entire winter, get forgotten until April, and then someone finds the keys, turns the ignition, and the thing fires right up like it never sat a day. Cold starts, hot starts, high altitude, sea level does not matter. The Ranger just runs. When something eventually needs attention, the parts are so inexpensive and so widely available that a salvage yard Ranger becomes essentially a rolling supply store. This truck was never glamorous. It was never supposed to be. It was supposed to work. And for the better part of 30 years now, in driveways and on job sites and across the back 40 of farms all over this country, that is exactly what it has done. Number 3, Dodge Ram, 2500 and 3500 with 12-valve Cummins, 5.9 liter, 1994 to 1998. This is where we stop talking about reliability and start talking about something closer to legend. The Dodge Ram 2500 and 3500, produced from 1994 through 1998, equipped with the 12-valve Cummins 5.9-liter inline-six diesel. Here is something that a lot of people who did not grow up around diesels do not fully appreciate. The 12-valve Cummins in these pre-1998 trucks, before the 24-valve had arrived, uses a completely mechanical injection system. The Bosch P7100 injection pump has no electronic solenoids, no computer-controlled fuel delivery, no modules that can fail at the wrong moment. The fuel injection timing, the fuel quantity, the idle, all of it is managed by physical geometry inside that pump. Springs, weights, and precision machining. That is it. What that means in practical terms is extraordinary. This engine does not care what year it is. It does not need an ECM to run. There is no DEF fluid to worry about, no diesel particulate filter to regenerate, no selective catalytic reduction system to throw a fault code in a county with no dealer for 200 miles. Put clean diesel in it, change the oil, and drive. These engines routinely accumulate 400,000, 600,000, and in documented cases over 1 million miles on original internal components, not rebuilt original. The rest of the Ram from this era was not always as impressive as that engine. The mid-90s Dodge electrical system has its quirks, and the interior plastics aged with roughly the grace of a broken promise. But none of that changes the fundamental truth about what lives under the hood. The 12-valve Cummins is not just an engine, it is a philosophy. And that philosophy is simple: the best computer in your truck is no computer at all. Number 2. Ford F-150 and F-250, OBS generation with 300 cubic inch inline-six, 1987 to 1996. The Ford F-150 and F-250 OBS generation produced from 1987 through 1996. The 300 cubic inch 6 dates back to 1965, equipped with the 300 cubic inch inline-six, 4.9 liters of cast iron stubbornness. Understand what this engine actually is. It is, in the most literal sense, a tractor engine that Ford had the good sense to put in a pickup truck. Ford refined it so gradually over the following 3 decades that by the time the OBS body style arrived in the late 80s, it was essentially a perfected piece of mechanical engineering. And what separates it from almost every other engine on any list is the valve train. The camshaft in the 306 is driven by gears. Not a timing belt, not a timing chain gears. Precision machined steel gears that mesh together and turn the camshaft in direct mechanical relationship to the crankshaft. There is nothing to wear out on a schedule. There is nothing to snap at 120,000 miles on a cold January morning. The gear-driven valve train is, mechanically speaking, virtually indestructible under normal maintenance conditions. It is the kind of design decision that would get an engineer laughed out of a product meeting today because it adds weight and cost and does not show up anywhere in a brochure. But it adds decades to the life of an engine, and that is what actually matters in the real world. The torque curve is equally honest. Peak torque arrives at extremely low RPM, exactly what you want in a work truck. It pulls hard from idle and keeps pulling without drama. Put a loaded trailer behind one of these trucks on a long grade, and you will understand immediately why Ford kept this engine in production for so many years without touching the fundamental design. The OBS F-Series is also one of the most serviceable vehicles ever built in America. The engine bay is enormous. The layout is logical. And a truck with decent bones kept up with basic maintenance will still be running long after vehicles with 8-speed transmissions and cylinder deactivation have become landfill. Number 1. Chevrolet and GMC C/K Series GMT400 with 350 cubic inch V8, 1988 to 1998. The Chevrolet and GMC C/K Series, the GMT400 platform produced from 1988 through 1998, powered by the 350 cubic inch small block V8, 5.7 liters of American mechanical certainty. There is no engine in the history of American automotive production that has been manufactured in greater numbers, studied more thoroughly, or supported by a wider parts and knowledge base than the small block Chevrolet. Since 1955, General Motors has produced well over 100 million of these engines in various displacements. The 350 cubic inch variant is the heart of that family. It has powered pickup trucks, muscle cars, boats, race cars, off-road vehicles, and industrial equipment. Finding a mechanic who does not know how to work on a small block Chevy is genuinely more difficult than finding one who does. The GMT400 trucks represent the peak of this engine's application in a working vehicle. The fuel injection system is old enough to be thoroughly understood and young enough to still be fully supported by available replacement parts. The suspension geometry is simple. The electrical system is straightforward. The entire truck is designed with a directness of purpose that has no equivalent in anything produced today. This was not a truck built to impress anyone at a dealership. It was built for the job site, the ranch, the highway, and the long haul. Walk through any rural county in America right now, and you will still find GMT400 trucks working, not being restored, not sitting on a show field. Working hauling hay, pulling equipment trailers, running fence lines, doing the same jobs they were doing in 1993 because nobody ever gave them a reason to stop. Buy one in solid condition, change the oil every 4,000 miles, keep fresh coolant in it, replace the consumables when they need it. That is the entire recipe. The small block 350 in a C/K truck is not trying to be complicated. It never was, and that is exactly why it is number 1 on this list and why it has been earning that title for going on 40 years. These 5 trucks carry nothing extra. They carry whatever you put in the bed, and they keep doing it for as long as you take care of them. Drop it in the comments. Have you ever taken one of these engines past 300,000 miles? Is there a truck in your family's driveway right now that your grandfather bought new, still running, still working? Tell me what you are driving, what is under the hood, and how many miles are on the clock. If this changed how you think about what a truck should actually be built to do, hit that like button and subscribe to Drive with Kelly for more honest coverage of the trucks, engines, and real-world stories that don't always make the headlines. And if you think the biggest changes in the truck world are coming from Toyota, wait until you see the video popping up on the upper left of your screen right now. Because Ford's CEO just revealed what's coming next, and it caught a lot of people by surprise. We'll see you in the next one.